video, let's talk about the new WH-347 Federal Certified Payroll Report for 2025, and it expires in 2028. This is incredibly tedious and requires much more detail than previous versions of the report, but with HCM Trade Seal, you can do it in a matter of minutes. So in order to do that, we'll start by uploading a prevailing wage determination. If you're not familiar with a wage determination, when you get a certified payroll job, you can usually ask the general contractor you're working for or the agency that you're contracting with to point you in the right direction, and you can search online to find the right wage determination depending on where you're working and the type of job classes you're using. And fortunately, HCM Trade Seal makes this very easy to administrate. We use AI to parse the wage determinations for you. So once this is submitted, the next step will be to import time cards. You could key them in if it's just a handful of people, but most Trade Seal users prefer to upload time from a time system. So you can import the hours like this. You'd select a hours file from your computer. You can also do this with an API if you have Trade Seal Connection Manager enabled. Once you're complete with the process of importing hours, you can view them in the rate validation screen. This is a nice way to preview what's going to happen before you create a certified payroll report. For example, if I want to see just that job, I can type project 123, and I can look at only employees who've worked on that job. I can explore the type of work they did as well. And a common example is I might find an employee like Jack Smith Jr., and I may want to see the breakout of how they're being paid prevailing wage. So in this case, I can see the total prevailing wage is $60. They're actually paid a little bit above that as their natural employee rate. And then I can see employer paid fringe benefits and how that impacts the amount of cash in lieu I'm going to pay. This is important because that is going to be required on this certified report. The federal 2025 edition certified payroll report does ask you to break out information like this. If you want to take a look at how to manage that information, Trade Seal lets you manage all of the employer paid fringe benefits in the employee data. This can come directly from your employee system of record. That's usually going to be a payroll system. So these are your fringe credits, and that's going to tie into how we actually calculate the hours data. So moving on, once we've had a chance to preview the calculations in the screen, now it's time to create a report, which is easy. We're going to head over to Generate Reports, and we're going to choose from Trade Seal's large selection of available certified reports and choose Federal. Don't forget to pick your work week, your pay stubs from your payroll system. And of course, there's different versions of this report, so be sure to choose the new 2025 version that expires in 2028. And finally, you'll hit Generate. In this video, we've already pre-generated the reports, so let's take a look. When you finish generating, you're going to get a folder, a nice zip file that's going to have a PDF and an Excel document for every report. The reason for this is you need to be able to show not only the summary report that I showed at the beginning of this video, but also a breakout of the fringe benefits that you've paid if you're going to be taking advantage of fringe credit savings. So let's take a look at both. We'll review the PDF again. The PDF is similar to prior year certified payroll reports, but it unfortunately requires a lot more detail. So we're going to see one row for each employee, and if an employee such as this one here, if they worked for more than one type of work, more than one class, more than one pay rate, you got to create an extra row for an employee like that. And you've got to detail all of their benefits from their pay stub, and you've got to detail how you paid fringe benefits and cash in lieu. But in order to provide a detailed breakout of the fringe benefits, instead of filling out this part at the end of the form, which can be very tedious, it's much easier to just provide an addendum. And that is why we have the Excel file. So let's take a look at the addendum for this job number. It looks like this, and it's going to break out each employee's deductions. This is actually the second tab. And then on the first tab of the spreadsheet, it's going to break out their fringe benefits. And this gives you everything that you need to submit the new certified payroll report. And this is without filling any of it out by hand. It's fully automatic with HCM Trade Seal. Thanks for spending some time with us today. Be sure to book a demo to learn more about HCM Trade Seal.